Hello, I'm Matt Guff from thehouse.com, and I'm here with Jayson Henderson from Burton Snowboards. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Every once in a while I try to switch it up, do a handshake or a high five and some knucks. You did good that time.
Then you get the stick shift.
Right?
Like,
That's good. Jayson is here walking us through the 2018 Burton line. This is kind of like the broad overview of every single men's binding in the reflex option.
Yep.
What can you tell us as we kind of walk through this line, the differences and similarities to some of these bindings and how they ride and feel and their capabilities on different boards?
Well, basically what you get as you go up in price in our binding line is you get more comfortable straps, you get more responsive base plate materials, more responsive high backs, different fit features, different buckle systems, that sort of thing as you go up in price.
Okay.
So, versus a lot of our competitors where it's real similar stuff as you go all the way through their line. So this is, kind of just a general overview of what you get as you go up throughout our line.
That's awesome.
So,
And, starting out within the line is an amazing binding. That Freestyle,
yep.
it's all new. It looks really good. Cool colorway.
Yep. The new 2018 Freestyle completely revamped it.
Awesome.
So it's got our newer Highback. This was actually, like we trickled this down, this was actually the first generation Malavita Highback.
Was that?
Yeah. So,
nice.
But, again, this binding is a little bit softer, more forgiving binding.
Okay.
So polycarbonate base plate, still reflex, so it flexes with the overall flex of the board, but polycarbonate is a little bit softer. So those guys out there that like really soft, jibby bindings, like the Freestyle is a sick binding.
Right.
It does have a TPU kind of urethane style material. It's not temperature sensitive, so it's a little bit softer.
Okay.
More forgiving. Our new React straps, they're larger surface area. Less strap pressure, and you get all the all the response with less pressure. One thing that's on all of Burton's bindings too is our flex slider.
It opens up nice and
Opens
good.
up, stays nice, stays out of the way as you're kind of stepping in, and super smooth buckles. So you go from Freestyle to custom. So you go to a stiffer Highback.
Yeah, and another great binding at like really low price point that's totally been revamped too.
Yep, totally redid this one too. So updated the look, put the Camden Highback on it, stiffer Highback than the Freestyle.
Okay.
Similar ankle strap, but then it's got our Get a Grip toe strap. So that just sits on the end of the boot, really low profile. There's a lot of different shapes and finishes to boots out there, so this really just conforms to that and doesn't slide around.
And the Get a Grip is in some high-end boots that you guys have as well.
Oh yeah, like the Get a Grip.
Bindings.
We put that all the way up into the Cartel.
Yep.
So
And the Malavita, the Red Wing Malavita Danny Davis edition has the leather Get a Grip cap strap too.
Yep. So it's a great strap. So
and it's at the second binding in
second
the
price
line.
point. Yep.
Second price point in the line, and it's also on one of the high-end pro model style bindings to the Malavita.
Exactly. So it's a
awesome.
killer toe strap.
Yep.
So
cool.
Then moving on from there, you go to the Mission. So kind of the workhorse binding in the line.
Yep.
So if you spent all your money on a really stiff, cambered Custom X or something like that, you're gonna need a binding with some stiffness to drive that board. So putting a Freestyle or Custom, that binding's gonna be a little too soft for that. But what makes it a little stiffer, it does have a 30% fiberglass to nylon versus a polycarbonate. So still reflex base plate works this way, but you get that quick toe and heel edge response with that fiberglass nylon. So stiffer base plate.
Yep.
Same strap package as the Custom.
Yep.
But then you get the living hinge with the forward lean adjustment there.
Got it.
So.
And this is an awesome colorway. Like all orange is pretty great. And this was revamped 2 seasons ago? So?
Yep.
And it's
new
been
Highback, and we just kind of trickled some technology into that, and it's that is in my opinion, kind of the best binding for the cash.
Is it within the line?
Yeah, there's even guys on our team that ride Missions. They just like the feel of them. So
awesome. Cool. And then next up, my favorite, the Cartel.
Yep. So if you like definitely a stiffer feel.
Yep.
So a lot of our like Japanese and European riders typically like this binding because they ride those stiff cambered boards like Custom X's. They like that just knife edge performance. So here you go to a 45% glass to nylon versus 30. So again, reflex works with the board this way, but has that stiffness of carbon toe and heel just without the price tag. Get a Grip cap strap has our new hammock strap 2.0.
2.0.
So the benefit of the hammock straps is that it's completely injection molded. So there's no waste. Any waste that comes in the manufacturing of it is trimmed off and ground up and put in the recycling stream.
That's right.
They don't hold moisture. and there's no fabric to shred or anything like that, so they last longer. So essentially you have a spine through the middle that connects to both sides of the bindings, and then you have this hammock that kind of that acts as the padding. So it's formed right around your foot, so you get really good response with it.
Awesome.
And comfort.
Yep. And then the next one, this is a real crowd pleaser. A lot of people love this thing. Lots of comfort. This is the Malavita.
Yep. So then Malavita. So kind of going a little bit more on the comfort end of things, we go back down to 30% glass to nylon.
A little softer than base plates in the Cartel.
Softer than Cartel. But then you also go to the ASIM hammock strap on the ankle strap. So a little bit more room in here for a little bit of movement towards the inside of the binding. It's also a softer material.
Okay. Softer than the Cartels?
Yes. Yep. So the padding, or what we call the padding, is softer. Yeah. So a little more forgiving. Then you also go to double take buckles. So just smoother. There's an engagement point on the bottom side of the buckle. So it starts clicking in a little easier, and then that's why there's like this angled kind of helical gear drive. So for every stroke, there's 3 teeth involved, or basically 3 teeth on every stroke, so there's no ghost ratcheting, things like that.
Got it.
And then you get the super grip cap strap, so just completely injection molded there, so super soft, again molded around the.
And then you got the heel hammock too, which is nice.
Yep. Then heel hammock too. Again, another one that's made a lot of the team riders like, because then it grips the backstay of the boot, and then it gives you better heel hold into the binding with less strap pressure. And it's kind of like Burton bindings are about. So it's kind of like between these two bindings, this is what most of the team riders ride. This is what we get the most requests for from riders that ride for other companies. They like stiff. They like that knife edge performance. They go Cartel. They want something a little softer. Guys like Danny Davis or Mark McMorris. They want something more forgiving. Ben Ferguson. Then they go like Malavita.
Awesome. Cool. And then into another great free ride binding, I feel. This is Genesis.
Yep. So getting into again a little bit more comfort, a little softer. So similar base plate to the Malavita. You go to the React version of the hammock strap, so larger surface area, spreads it out over a bigger area, but then it's a little softer material than what like a Cartel would be.
Got it.
Double take buckles. You also get the hammock Highback too. So you got the mesh on the inside here. Got this grip panel. There's actually like a little thing in here that we call the spring. So what that does is it molds around the backstay of your boot, moves in there, and then you have a stiff external high back. So you don't get that pressure point until you actually start to turn.
Got it.
So works really well. So super comfy binding.
Awesome. Then this is another great one. This is the Genesis X.
Yep. So
updated version.
Yep. So basically just a little bit more responsive version of the Genesis. So you go to a carbon glass nylon base plate, so lighter and stiffer, more responsive.
Yep.
And also even the hammock itself on the strap is a little stiffer, more responsive that way.
Really? Okay.
Yep. But otherwise the same buckle package, same. The high back is actually carbon glass nylon too. So
got it.
Just more carbon, a little bit touch lighter, but definitely more responsive.
And lastly, the X base, super lightweight. We just weighed it as like the medium weight.
1 pound 9 ounces or something like that.
Yeah, super lightweight.
Yeah, so here is definitely the stiffest binding in the line. So carbon glass base plate, so super responsive that way. It does have a full carbon high back.
Yeah.
What's nice about this high back too versus like old school carbon high backs is that it's got a really good shape to it. It's not like you have this carbon axe jabbing in the back of your leg. So
right.
But we did go a little bit softer on the ankle strap. It does have the ASIM strap here. Also titanium hardware. So
awesome.
it'll drop the weight a little bit too.
Of course.
So if you want light and stiff, that's the one there.
X base.
Yeah.
Now, what is your main go-to any given day?
Personally, in strap bindings, my personal favorite was always the Malavita and the EST version.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I've always loved the Cartel so much.
That's why our bindings throughout the whole line ride different, because everybody's different. There's different styles of riding. There's different boards. There's different conditions around the world. And that's why we have just a completely different binding as you go from Freestyle all the way up to X Base. There's a lot of stuff in between
That's right.
Dial it in the way you want it. So.
Awesome, man. Jayson, thanks so much for walking us through the line.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you guys for watching. There is another binding within Burton's lineup, the Step-Ons. And you can check those videos out by subscribing to our channel and just watching them. Jayson has been here for a good amount of time today, kind of walking us again through everything, and definitely check out the step-on binding reviews that we have at the House Board Shop's YouTube channel. Again, thanks for being here. Leave a comment or a question, and hopefully I'll see you guys around. Peace.